So in West Africa, we have these ordained people that are called the griots. So the griots are these people, they're like the human libraries. So they would be told stories about communities in West Africa, and then they would pass the stories.
Right.
So the concept of slum itself, like I said, it's a generation of poets.
Right.
And poetry has evolved over the centuries. So slum poets came by from the 1980s onwards up to still where we are. And poetry is always evolving. It doesn't stay in one place.
Do you know what I thought slum poet was?
What
you can imagine.
What did you think slum poetry was?
I thought it was from the block, the hood. I was like, what, slum poet? But thanks for educating me.
But though it's very synonymous with hip hop as well.
Of course,
as the movement, because hip hop is very much from from the hood.
Right.
It's expression, and so we're more about performance. That's why we even call it spoken word.
Right.
So spoken word is also in the category of slum poetry. Yeah.
Dude, and you sound so good, man. Like, you really speak well.
Like I told you.
I like your accent,
Like
man.
I told you, I feel at home because I always wanted to be a journalist. Like,
for real?
just being here is so surreal.
God. Yeah.
I just can't wait to tell stories more about my
Dude,
whole...
you should definitely have a show or something, because you sound really good.
My journey, yes.
But I hope you're good, man.
I'm well.
How was your day? How's your week? How are you feeling?
Just chilling, just nothing much. Typical Gen Z, typical 26-year-old Kenyan.
Yeah.
For the most part, unemployed, but I have work that I do. So besides poetry, I work as an occupational therapist.
Right.
So occupational therapy is this medical field, and we do rehabilitative work. So we work mostly with children who have special needs. So currently I'm working at Umoja Primary, Umoja 1 Primary School.
Yes.
So they just opened a new therapy center. And, we're helping people who have children with special needs to help those children achieve the milestones that they need to. So that generally that is what occupational therapy is all about. But my day was good.
Yeah.
I went for work today.
Yeah, amazing.
I was worried that I was going to be stuck in traffic before getting here, but I took an Uber, and I at least I made it in time.
I like that. Every other time I invite people here to this show, they always have some sense of worry. Yeah, the whole traffic situation can be a menace sometimes,
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you're here.
The expressway did the thing.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, that expressway is a saver, man.
Exactly,
it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so obviously we're going to be talking about a lot, yeah? But, I'm curious. Talk to me about your background, yeah?
Yes, so my background is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, like where were you raised?
Yes, definitely. So my background very much started in my up country. So I was raised in a very traditional type of way. Sometimes I even question my Gen Z type, because I'm not, I wasn't raised in town. So I was raised in my maternal home, which is in Machakos, in my grandparents' house. So my mom never married, or rather never got married. So she got me while she was still staying at her parents' house. And it was a big household. We had cousins coming. It was always people in the house.
Yeah.
But then my grandfather, interesting character, I have to tell you, because he was at some point, he was a legislator, and he was also in the cabinet of the late Daniel Arap Moi.
Right.
So he's a role model.
Yeah.
I would say he's a role model.
So you're old money.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
It's okay. Me, when I hear stories of that, my granddad was a cabinet minister, and I'm just like, especially Moi era. I get it. Yeah.
I'm just telling my story.
It's all good. I'm not judging too much.
So like I said, my grandfather, he's a very key character in my background, and then he was kind of this strict father figure. So he was my father figure since my dad was not around, and he was a policeman as well. Before he joined to work for the government, he worked as a policeman. So he was quite strict, in bringing us up.
Yeah.
And then I think even with art, as a young guy growing up, I think my art career in my art and my self-expression started from when I was a kid, man. And I have to give a huge credit to my family, especially from my maternal side, my mother's side, because I remember during Christmas they would let me do these like skits. It was mostly comedy skits. I would do some funny stuff, and they would laugh. It would make me feel so good.
Yeah.
And then in school also I would do some poems. I would do solo poems. I would also do like choral verses. And then I think in primary school, so I went to this school in Karatina called Brookfield Academy, and that school was very pivotal in my expression, because we had this teacher called Wanto Aroy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Wanto Aroy.
Was this IGCC?
No.
Okay.
It was a private school, normal system.
All right.
So Wanto Aroy was my Kiswahili teacher, and we used to have the debate. We used to have this debate club, and so just being on the debate club really kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. I was a shy kid though.
Right.
I was quite small actually. I was quite a small kid. I wasn't very confident, but having that platform at that early age at least gave me at least a little bit of boost. And then I went to this public school called Ofafa Jericho.
Oh, I know Ofafa, bro.
Ofafa Jericho is...
My little nephew was there.
Ofafa Jericho, its reputation precedes itself.
Yeah, that's in Islands, isn't it?
Islands, yes, in Jericho.
Yeah.
So it was a tough school, man. It was a tough school, but so in the context of art, I used to be in a drama club. Rather.
Yeah, because I know they're big in art, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, and rugby as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they're big in rugby and drama and music.
Yeah.
So I used to be in drama festivals, and then there was this particular drama teacher called Ken. Today, I just want to mention my teachers, because those people really gave me my foundation, and it's always good to, acknowledge your teachers when you can. So Ken was my drama teacher, and every time we would practice doing drama, he would tell the others, do it like this kid.
Yeah.
I want you to do it like him.
Wow. You must have been so good, huh?
I guess so. So Ken really gave me that confidence when it comes to like acting, because my poetry, as much as it is for the page, it's also for the stage.
Right.
So I'm a page poet. I'm also a stage poet.
Right.
And the whole aspect of slam rather is more about performance. And so after Ofafa Jericho, I transferred to another school called Ongata Senior School. It's in Rongai. So this one was a private school. And that's where I discovered my journalism, my sort of journalism, my love for journalism. I was the head of the journalism club.
Nice.
Together with my friend. I have to shout out. If I don't shout out him, he might call me out after the interview. So Josephat Njogu, he was my co-partner, and there was this instance in school where we told some very controversial news to a point where we were kicked off the parade, and we had to wash the whole school. So we were very influential, and that also kind of gave me a platform in knowing how to challenge rather the status quo, and always how to question systems in place, not just to conform.
Yeah.
So basically that's my background.
That's amazing. That's amazing, dude. Yes. Like, I am fascinated by how you speak, dude. I love it. Kwanzaa, I'm gonna have to talk to some folks over here. I generally feel like you have to get into journalism, but I like that. So at what point did you figure that you should probably pursue this whole poetry and spoken word thing?
Like I said,
because I've seen you in multiple stages. I
have been.
Yeah.
I have been. Like I said, it started when I was young. When I was young, I knew I wanted to be an artist. I just didn't know it was going to be poetry. I just didn't know the avenue that I would find myself in was poetry. But I had an idea. I knew I had this expression thing going on, and I knew that I needed to nurture it. But then, so I recall when I was in high school, I used to do more of music writing. I would write rap music, and so it was more music. Music came before the poetry.
Right.
And the rap thing, it's still serious. I still sometimes think about it. I still sometimes think maybe I should go to this.
Well, what kind of rap? Is it like conscious rap, or is it just any kind of rap? You can basically
rap music.
You can drop bars. That's it.
I can drop bars.
Okay.
Drop bars.
I know you're gonna have to drop for us some bars.
I'm gonna drop some poetry bars, not rap bars. I'm not confident with the rap.
It's okay, bro. No pressure.
Yes.
No pressure. So
poetry did not come until COVID-19.
Right.
During the pandemic. So I was stuck at my uncle's house. We were at my uncle's house in South B. And COVID was such a phenomenon. I feel like even as a collective, we still haven't progressed from what COVID did, even not just as Kenya, the whole world. So poetry came around that time. I was just in the house, just figuring out, writing raps, but I wanted a stage. I felt like I was alone writing these poems in my room, but I felt like I needed a community. I needed to express myself. And so I came across this platform called Kwani Open Mic through a close friend. So Kwani Open Mic it's a very OG platform in Kenya. Stella Kivuti was here.
Right, yeah. Shout out to Stella, she's amazing.
Yeah, and she comes from that generation of Kwani Open Mic. So that Kwani Open Mic platform has given a platform to one of the biggest poets in this country.
There's also another guy who came through here. I forget his name, but I've realized most of the guys who have been affiliated to Kwani or are still affiliated also like rap music.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the whole thing for with the words and thing.
Yes. But Kwani as a thing, it was a literature platform.
Right.
Before even it was a poetry platform.
Okay.
Because it was initiated by the late Kenneth Binyivanga Wainaina.
Yeah.
Who was winner of the Kane Prize in 2001.
Yeah.
He actually I think it was Yvonne Odhiambo Award.
Yvonne was also here.
Yeah, she was also here. She also has the same Kane Award.
Awesome.
And he was also, according to Times magazine, he was one of the most influential people in the world at some point. Yes.
I agree, yeah.
So he started this Kwani literature platform where they used to invite authors from across the region, from Nigeria. At some point, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie came to the country through that platform.
Yeah.
And then now the Kwani literature platform turned into Kwani Open Mic.
Correct.
And that was from 2013 onwards up to, I think, they don't operate now, but it has been there for a while. So that's where, that was my first platform when it comes to poetry. That was the first time I got to stage. It was Kwani Open Mic.
Yeah. Yes. So the guy I was telling you was Irauka. Yeah, shout out to Irauka. He was also here. He literally talked about Kwani as well.
Yes.
Now, before we further this conversation, maybe you can drop a piece for us, one of your favorite pieces, because I know you've got a collection of poems in your blog.
I do.
What's the name of your blog, real quick?
The name of my blog is African Poetry, but currently I'm writing a collection of 500 poems called Jenzi Mau. There are poems about identity, democracy, and a fearless generation.
All right.
Yes.
Take it away.
Where I'm from, the word Gen Z is used as a political statement. Where I'm from, they call us the digital natives. Born at the dawn of the internet, we are the woke citizens, sleeping under a warm blanket called climate change. We are broken and bored at our sunrise, called political tension. I couldn't sleep last night, and it was due to all the economic insecurities in my country. Our days are not lived. Our love is not conditional. Our laughter is not best. And if they call us digital natives, then that means we must have been born at the dawn of the internet. But most times, the whole wide world just can't seem to connect to us.
Brilliant, dude. What? The digital natives.
Yes.
You've said a lot of truths in that very short poem. Yeah, so, and I'll ask you a few in just a bit. Okay. Yeah, but one of the common ones I've heard is how, Gen Zs seem to be really I don't want to say disturbed, but some of them are loners. Apparently, most of them dread the idea of brokenness. Like, they can't even understand what's going on because maybe it's because of the state of the economy.
Yes.
So they're in a state of apathy. Right? Is that right?
We have quite a reputation, if that's what you're asking. But I think, with Gen Z it's a mind of state, and some people, maneuvering as a Gen Z in these times, it's quite tough. Even starting from home.
Right.
Okay? You don't even need to get out of the house. Just at home. our parents sort of have these ideas about Gen Zs. You know, like if they have Gen Z children, they think, and maybe it's the way we tend to lead our lives. You know, most of us are question the idea of marriage, or whether they should be in that type of relationship where they can actually bring actual children into this world. Because sometimes you think you bring these children into this type of economy, how are they going to thrive really? So it's more about, I think Gen Zs are misunderstood for the most part.
Right. But
we have this constant refusal to accept what is. And there's this quote by, I think it originates from the Hindu community.
Yeah.
And it says, it is no health to be well adjusted in a profoundly sick society.
Wow, brilliant.
I'll say it again. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted in a profoundly sick society. Mm-hmm. And so we know the type of predicament that we have, but we just can't settle for less. And that's why people tend to have conflict with us.
Gen Z pretty much question every facet of life. Yes. Especially, let me speak from the Kenyan context.
Yes.
So you also mentioned how Gen Zs are pretty much very misunderstood. Are you misunderstood?
As myself?
Yeah.
Yes. I would say yes.
Do you feel like that when you engage with your peers, with society, with guys out here? Do you feel like they don't get you?
Sometimes, yes. For the most part, I feel like it. Yeah. Even when writing.
Oh, interesting.
Even when writing, you know, you think about when writing, mostly when I'm writing, you think about when I'm performing this piece, how is the audience going to perceive what I was trying to convey?
Yeah.
How are they going to take this subject matter that I was trying to talk about? So yes, sometimes I feel like I'm misunderstood.
There's a brilliant creative, I forget his name, he's very well celebrated. I was just watching his stuff yesterday, and he mentioned how when you're going to put your work out there, whatever form of art, in whatever medium, you really shouldn't care about the audience that much. You know, you should be authentic. You should put it out there as it is. When I ask individuals who are in your space what they think about stuff like that, you know, just having no regard for the audience, they say, you know, Kevin, maybe that's not right. You're supposed to read the room, because you're supposed to basically know the taste of the audience.
Yes.
What's your perception? What's your view of what this man said? Yeah? Because obviously we're living in an age where you're expected to conform.
Okay.
Sort of, right? Otherwise, some people are going to probably cancel you and say, you know, who does he think he is? Yes. All these other things about Keith.
Yes.
So do you feel like it's important to not have regard for the audience when you're putting your work out there?
Well, I think yes and no. It all depends on your motive and what you're trying to achieve. And it also depends on what type of audience you have. It's always good to read your audience and to know what expectations they have so that you can at least give them that. Because an audience is a very important part of even the art space. As artists, we don't share art to ourselves. We also share art with other people.
Yeah.
It's always good to consider what do these people really want to, or how can I tell whatever I'm telling in a way that can be receptive to them.
Yes, yeah. Brilliant.
But I would say most of the times I tend to find myself in the line of trying to figure out whether I should care or not care for the audience.
Yeah.
I haven't yet figured out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about your blog.
Yes.
So what inspired the title Jenzi Mau? Why MauMau now in this very modern age?
Yes. So I think that topic it reflects the times. I think as when I say Jenzi Mau, there's some certain emotions that it evokes just by saying those two words in the same tone. I think, like we've talked about the conversation about Gen Z and how we are viewed in our community because of, you know, the way we show up for protest in huge numbers and the way we speak and we don't conform. But also the aspect of MauMau, I think we share a common goal they might have come from a different generation.
Yeah.
But we share the same goal for our country.
Right.
And the MauMau was this interesting front in our country because when the British East India Company came to our country in 1895.
East African Company?
The British East India. Yeah, that's how they were called. Yeah.
Okay.
So they introduced forced labor and they took our land. And then the locals started to revolt because when they introduced forced labor, you had to pay some taxes and you had to work in that land that was stolen from you. So MauMau was this front that came to resist the British rule in this country. And it's quite interesting because the British government called them terrorists and they called them criminals and anarchists. So it's quite a trend when people stand for truth and for justice. The ruling party tends to categorize them as terrorists or anarchists, but they're really fighting for what is right. So I think Jenzi Mau, I think it's a very ideal title, or rather it was an ideal title for my work because it reflects the times that we are.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, but
yes.
for the MauMau, it was very, very clear what they were fighting for: land and freedom.
Yes.
What exactly are Gen Zs fighting for? We can even base it off last year's Mandamano. Of course, we were talking about accountability.
Yes.
Yeah, but from your perspective, what exactly? Give me specifics.
I think we've had several types of liberations in this country. Like we've talked about, the MauMau liberated us from the Mzungu rule. That is what MauMau was all about. There was a second liberation which came during the times of Section 2A, and they introduced the multi-party, the whole multi-party idea. And then we had this liberation which introduced the constitution of our country, which we enjoy today. And I think the Gen Zs are also part of now the new liberation,
right.
And we are fighting for economic freedom. I think that is the whole front. We feel there are these elites who are disconnected from reality. They lead certain type of lavish lifestyles, and you have this disparity in terms of huge amounts of unemployment in this country. One in every four Kenyans is unemployed, and there's rampant unemployment in this country. And I think Gen Zs feel like you have the skills and you've gone through the school system, but when you go out there, there's no opportunity for you to pursue what you want.
I agree.
So it's more of an economic struggle that we're fighting for, all right? Because we already have the basics. We already have all the other basics, covered.
Yeah.
So now it's more about economic empowerment and speaking about against corruption or graft. So yes, I think that is what Gen Z is all about.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So off of the collection of the poems from your blog,
yes.
the Jenzi Mau,
yes.
Which one was so emotional for you while writing?
So, like I said, Jenzi Mau is a collection of 500 poems.
Yeah.
I haven't finished them.
Right.
I'm in the middle. I think I'm in the 90th poem.
So, let's talk about so far.
I think there's this poem I wrote as a prayer. So, it's a poem, part prayer. If I should I do it a little bit?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Or I could do it at the end of the interview.
It depends on you. Okay, if that's what you prefer, it's fine.
Because I think it's sort of, it's a poem and a prayer.
All right.
And it speaks about, excuse me, it speaks about, pause. Can I take some time?
Yeah, sure.
Are you going to record this?
It is recorded.
You're going to edit?
Yeah.
Are you going to edit?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the record, we're actually live.
Yeah, we're actually live.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I know you're trying to compose your words.
Yes.
Take your time.
All right.
Now, Gen Z are often referred to as a fearless generation.
Okay.
Let's pick it up from there.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of things happening, especially when it comes to protests.
Okay.
That are associated with the Gen Z. They can be very emotional.
Yes.
And we lost many of Gen Z lives. Yeah, it's interesting. My auntie usually says, Kevin, we're all Gen Z. This is Gen Zote.
Z stands for Zote.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting because now, obviously, most Kenyans also feel like they're part of this conversation. It's not just for a generation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think at this point, due to the actions of most Gen Zs,
yes,
Kenyans as a collective, do you think we're now fearless and we can stand up to authority when we recognize injustice happening?
Well, there's a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of education to be done to the masses to help them overcome their fear. There's still a lot of tyranny going on. There's still a lot of neo-colonialism going on. And as we've seen with the protests, police brutality has been very rampant. And I think there's this force of the government trying to impose a feeling of fear to its citizens. But I think for the most part, we're trying to overcome that fear and trying to challenge the status quo by standing up for what is right, irregardless of the police cannons, irregardless of the water cannons, irregardless of the tear gas. We're still confident enough to go out there and fight for our rights. So I think the fear is there. Just like everywhere else, protests have not just happened in our country. Protests have been Gen Z protests especially have been happening all over the world.
Yeah.
From South Asia, we saw in Nepal what happened in Nepal and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So it's a communal. It's this collective movement, against tyrannical governments and tyrannical people. Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah, they say we're in a revolutionary space right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but it starts with the mind, right? I like how you put it. Yeah, Kenyans are actually questioning everything. Yeah, and we're living in some really interesting times.
Yes.
So we're going to take a short break, and then when we come